My people, the new government has announced free education for all.
Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning, Mother.
You got to see this.
My name is Kimani Maruge.
This is a primary school.
I heard on the radio.
They meant children.
They said everybody.
Why does someone as old as you want to go to school?
I want to learn to read.
I'm making an executive decision. Let Maruge in.
That's an unusual story for an African movie to be uplifting, funny, and moving in that way, and wasn't issue driven. It was more kind of one man's kind of determination. So I said to him, listen, I love working with you and I really like this script. Let me go to Kenya. So the thinking at that time was that we would shoot the film in South Africa, and I went to Kenya as a kind of to go and see if I could do some GVs and to meet the real man, the man Kimani Maruge, the guy that it's based on. I went to Kenya. I'd never been to Kenya before, and met this guy. He was 89. He was in his hospice. He was very, very ill. And I just started talking to this guy, and all this stuff came out, about his wife, his children, passion for the land. He's a Kikuyu, and so the land is very important to that tribe. But then more kind of shocking was this past, this colonial past, that I knew that Britain had a colonial history there, but I didn't quite know how bloody it was and how horrific it was. And he started to tell me his story, and at the end of this meeting I was like, wow, okay, so I managed to get hold of the BBC, and I said, listen, I've got to stay here longer. And I was starting to thinking, there's no way I'm going to go to South Africa and shoot this movie. I want to shoot this movie here.
Can I help you, Mzee? This is a primary school. Mzee, they meant children, not adults.
No. I heard on the radio, with my own ears. They said everybody.
We have 200 students and only 50 desks. Look at this. We can't waste them on an old man with one foot in the grave.
Although it was a true story and a lot of the events are true, I was also dealing with non-actors and non-professional people, so you have to kind of guide it towards that. So the children, for example, you see scenes in there where the children, that's not them acting. Those children had no comprehension of acting. So I'd have to go in, and I went in on my own, and I was with Kikuyu Maasai team that I was going in with, so I went into that village on my own. So I was like the only Mzungu, as it would be, known in the area. And, so I knew that I was going to be kind of, an oddity there, basically. And so I just kind of sat and let the children come to me, and the children are really, they're amazing, these kids, we realise what we have here in the West with education, the free education and all this kind of, those kids would wake up in the morning, work, think nothing of walking for 2 hours, going to school, no resources, no books, no pencils really, and working in incredibly basic conditions, but they had this love thirst for education. But as soon as I shouted action, these kids are so bright, these are so smart, these children. I'd shout action, by the time they shouted cut, they go, I'd try and get over to give a note to the cameraman or to an actor, and I go, cut, and they go, teacher Justin, they grab hold of me, mark, and I have to mark all the work, and I go, okay, we're ready for the next one. They go, yeah, change the work, change it. They'd have done it, These kids are smart children. And that was really humbling, really humbling. And so that kind of changed the whole way that I made the film, just in the way that I knew how to engage these children to find the truth.
What does Uhuru mean? It's freedom. Freedom!
Freedom!
And we hear a lot in the press about the kind of tribal differences and all of that, but all I experienced there while I was there was such warm-hearted, good people, and you know, yeah, and also, you know, in some of in the film I did try, you know, we know the value of education, that through education, it's an obvious thing, but you can, it is the key. The most overriding message of the film, and certainly the feeling that I had from the man that it's based on, is to never give up. I mean, this man, he was very, very sick, he was 89, he'd had a tough life, but this guy, you could feel the energy of, you know, him being determined to learn to read at that age. You know, his hearing was not good, his sight was not good, but he wanted to learn, and he set his mind on something and he never gave up. He never gave up with it. And you know, he had these dreams and he had these this passion within him, and I think that you know, from wherever you come from, whatever you can do. And it's what we were talking about earlier. You know, I mean, it's not, you know, with your dream about, you know, with what you're doing, and for me, I don't come from a family which is kind of, you know, being able to make, you know, get me into the film industry or anything like that. It was just a kind of crazy little Manchester Youth Theatre that got me involved in this. And, you know, and it is that through your determination, you can, anything is possible. And I know that's kind of a kind of romantic thing to say, but it really is true, you know.